please welcome to the TEDxSonomaCounty stage, Elizabeth Gore.
So my history and my experience, I think about that I have humanitarian aid in my experience, entrepreneurship, technology, and I'm a mom. So I think everyone struggled with what to call me today. So I said, how about a humanitarian, mompreneur, technologist? That's good, that'll work. But because I am a mompreneur, humanitarian, technologist, I think a lot about how is all this technology we've heard about today impacting our world? How is it going to affect my children? Is it going to save lives? And what will be the next great technology of our time? Like this one. Remember this? Remember the 80s? Let's think about this, see if it works. Clap on, clap off, the clapper. Yes. We better bring it back on. All right. So instead of the clapper, what we've learned today is now IoT can control all the lights in our house. For those of you who weren't listening or are not techies, Internet of Things. So I didn't know about it either before last year, and we've heard about it a lot today. To the layperson like myself, I think of the Internet of Things that it just connects all of us. It connects all of our infrastructure, it connects our cities, and now it connects everything in your home. Instead of the clapper, you walk in, one system is going to turn on your lights, it's going to bring up your air conditioning, and this is my favorite part. It will warm the toilet seat to your liking. I experienced this in New York, and I called my husband. I was like, we have to get one of these toilet seats. It's amazing. But think about technology. How is it impacting your lives? Is it bringing betterment? Is it bringing efficiency for you and your children? Or is it leaving you in the dark? I fundamentally believe that all of this technology today is making the world a better place. Technology is allowing entrepreneurs to not just chase the triple bottom line, it is allowing them to embody the triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit. Every company, no matter what industry you're in, is now a technology company. And tech entrepreneurs, they don't think about legacy at the end. They try to understand the future now. Their business plans embody the triple bottom line. Now, used to, I would be out and looking at companies, and all the programmers would run up to me and say, I'm going to make millions, I'm going to make billions. And now I'm proud to say that they run up to me, and they're still nerdy programmers, and there is a lot of dudes. We need to get more women in this action. But they come up to me and they say, I'm going to save millions of lives. I'm going to change billions of people. So think about if we got technology into the great minds of our times and to these entrepreneurs, what would we be able to achieve beyond just a warm toilet seat? Now, although that was great, there are 100 billion devices in our world today. You've heard all about them. But what are they doing? They're moving information faster, which allows us to problem solve and save lives. It's making us have less need for physical infrastructure, which is better for the environment. And it is bringing an equal playing field where we are all job creators instead of job seekers. People, planet, profit. Let's start with people. How are we utilizing technology with and for people? There's a health organization called TGen that I love. They're focused on bringing better diagnosis and faster treatment to kids with cancer. They're using high-performance data infrastructure to take research time down to understand that a child might have cancer from 7 days to 3 hours. That is life-saving minutes for these children. But I also think about examples in other countries. Last year, I was over in Kenya in January visiting refugee settlements. I was also in a lot of slums. I thought I had malaria, but I was pregnant, so that was fine. That's okay. But I was visiting with a lot of female entrepreneurs there, and they figured out how to take e-waste, how to pull parts out of phones that you throw away, computers and so on, sell those back to the East Africa Recycling Company, and make money. And the cool thing about women entrepreneurs is they actually put 90% of their income back into their communities and for their children. I'm convinced the other 10% is shoes, but that's fine. And that's a global thing, global statistic. But these women really inspired me to think about technology in a different way. But then I also worry about folks who don't have access to technology. Who are those great minds that don't have the digital dexterity to embrace the triple bottom line? Last month, my mother called my brother and I and said she was ready to buy her first tablet. Oh, my Lord. So, my mom's 65 years old. She's very intelligent. She's a successful cattle rancher, retired. And this surprised me, but she said she felt like she needed to be more connected. She said that everyday things were becoming harder without technology, that she's told that she needs them to pay bills, to connect with friends, and do everyday activities. A very bold woman, very bold, by the way, she called me today and said, "Is your hair big? Because remember, the higher it is, the closer you are to God." I said, "Mom, I'm doing a TED Talk. Leave me alone. I think I got it." Anyways, she's quite bold, is my point. So she's very nervous about this purchase. So we decide to head in to the mall and bring on Mom 2.0. And mind you, I couldn't believe how nervous she was. She would stare down a truck dealer and buy a 1-ton Ford truck for 30% less than sticker price, but she was nervous. So here we are in the mall. Now, mind you, it's not intimidating at all to roll up to a Genius bar to talk to somebody about technology for the first time. I mean, come on. Anyway, so we get in there, and a charming young woman comes up. She's very kind and helps my mom with her new device. They talk for over an hour. She's bringing my mom to the digital age. And at the very end, she very politely turned to my mother and said, "I can spend more time with you. Do you have any more questions?" So my mom looked at her and said, "How do you turn this on?" I text my brother, "Oh my God." Now, my mom was not born in the digital age. Either was 76 million baby boomers. There are also 60 million refugees today. It was 50 before our most recent crisis, but 60 million refugees who do not have consistent access to technology. Now, in my job, I go to a lot of refugee camps, and I will tell you that if there is one computer in that camp, probably solar power, there will be hundreds of children lined up to be on it. And they're on Facebook usually. But you know what they're doing? They're finding their families. That is the power of technology. There are also 1.5 billion people who don't have access to electricity. So they can't charge a device. They can't even turn on a light switch. We need to think about these people as we're benefiting from technology. We must pause and understand how we're getting into the hands of great minds of our time who may not be obvious to us. So as we turn to the planet, as I said earlier, technology is allowing us to have less need for physical infrastructure. It's also bringing us new, clean energy. Now, all this due to varied innovations like the cloud, hydrogen fuel cells, increasingly small microprocessors. It's also allowing us to remove waste from the world using digital media. Sonoma County is the home of the very innovative Crop Mobster. We lose 40% of food to waste in this country. Crop Mobster, just right down the road here, uses social media to put out alerts when there's excess food. And that, in turn, gets in the hands of people that need it, puts money back in the pockets of farmers, and helps take away waste. This is all a very good thing. Now, I'll just let that sit for a second. My mom, the cattle rancher, would love it. Even our cows are high-tech now. Most dairies just down the road here are using high computing data and analytics to increase massive production at their facilities. So even cattle know about the Internet of Things now. This is incredible. But all of this is allowing our world to be a more environmentally friendly place. I also love that it is allowing entrepreneurs to monetize sustainability. Monetize sustainability is so cool. So as we turn to profit, this might seem quite obvious to you, but it's actually my favorite one. Now, think about these entrepreneurs. All of them are creating 70% of jobs in this country, 90% in the developing world. A lot of people think it's the big corporations, but it's our entrepreneurs. And technology is allowing them and us to become job creators instead of job seekers. It's a great time to be an entrepreneur. They're allowing the latent economy to come to life. So Airbnb, we all talk about it a lot in this county right now. Airbnb has put 50 million people into existing spaces. They have more rooms than the Hilton. Another Bay Area company called Scoop is allowing rideshare for long-distance commuters, for a lot of you that are going from here to the city. It's giving you a supplemental income, it's taking emissions out of the air and cars off the road and lowering your road rage, which is very important. Now, all of these technologies are important. These are technologies that are allowing us to be profitable now, but they're also technologies that will put purpose and profit in the future. There are more cell phones than people in the world. So what does that mean for us? Our entire financial economy is becoming mobile. Generations and generations of technology are being skipped in the developing world by entrepreneurs whose entire businesses are just on their phones. So technology, profitability, people, planet, profit. Now, I could give you hundreds of examples of awesome entrepreneurs who are changing our world. But my favorite one is a social entrepreneur. She's from Pakistan. She and I have worked together for a long time, and I mentored her, and now she inspires me every day. The Taliban invaded her village years ago and were committing atrocities that nobody knew about. And when she was 11 years old, she figured out how to get a cell phone. And she called a BBC reporter and dictated a blog every single week about what she saw. She used a phone name, and her father supported her. That blog became so popular on the internet and through social media channels that on October of 2012, the Taliban shot her in the face on the way to school. This little girl's weapons were a great mind, a cell phone, and the internet. And through that, she was able to tell the world that girls were not being educated, but instead they were being shut in and abused. Her power with technology was so great that she became someone targeted by the Taliban. But now, 18, thriving, Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai is a beacon of social entrepreneurship. She is someone we should all aspire to be, someone who used technology to tell the world how to be better, how to educate itself, how to inspire everyone. So I want all of you to think about this. How will you use technology to help your fellow man? Will you save someone's life? Will you make the environment safer? Maybe you'll become a job creator instead of a job seeker. I want all of you to think about the technology you saw today and understand how you'll embrace the triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit.